Hey, thanks for tuning in to Lenny Schmidts Quarantine Comedy. How are you? First of all, number one, do me a favor. If you're watching the show, if you're watching the video, you do me a huge favor by just liking the video. If you do like it a lot, share it. That would go a really long way. And even subscribe to the channel if you want to keep updated on what's going on here. The Quarantine Comedy is a show where we talk to lots of different performers, entertainment professionals, all kinds of types, writers, producers, directors, showrunners, actors, musicians, guitar players, who should also be a musician, drummers, also a musician, people from cruise ships, techs, sound engineers, all kinds of people who are entertainment professionals. We talk to them about how they're dealing with COVID, how their careers have changed, and how they've reinvented themselves to move forward. If you do or do not know this, 77% of all people working in entertainment industry, in the live entertainment industry, lost 100% of their income. That is a true fact. You can Google it, look it up. I wouldn't make that up. Tons of people lost their jobs during COVID. Lots of people in live entertainment lost their jobs. And there's to think about it. There's no shows almost anywhere. A lot of states are still shut down, and you can't get out. You can't see a show. So this show gives them an opportunity to get back out in front of you, to let you know what they're doing, see how you can keep in touch with them, maybe buy their merch, buy their albums, see them online, see them live. It also gives you an opportunity to stay in touch with some of the people that you've enjoyed over the years. If you enjoy the show, do me a favor, support it as much as you can. Like I said, you could like the show, you could share it, you should subscribe. Here's the deal. Besides this show, I produce four different live streaming shows on the internet. They are all free. If you enjoy them, please watch them. We don't have any sponsors. If you want to sponsor, support, or donate to the show, you can do that. Bam, right there. There's a couple of options for you financially if you want to throw some cash. Here's how it works. As I said, 3 of the 4 shows I do are free. They don't cost you nothing. I know COVID sucks for everyone, so you can watch the show for free and get all kinds of free entertainment online. Be my guest. Do so. If you watch the show and you enjoy it and you feel like you want to support it and you do want to pay for the 30-minute or 60-minute show that you watched, feel free to do so at any one of those options. You can go to my website, lennyschmidt.com/ifyoucan. There's a credit card and a PayPal button there. You can go to Venmo at Lenny Schmidt Comedy. You can go to Cash App at $ Lenny Schmidt Comedy also. And also the Patreon page. I'll explain that a little bit more at the end of the show. It's a way to support all the other shows that I'm producing online. If you can't afford it and you can't do it, that's cool. That's fine. I understand. COVID is tough on everybody. Then you know what? Just sit back, enjoy the show, and enjoy today's guest. And we're going to get started here in 3, 2... Yeah, that's the intro right there. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lenny Schmidts Quarantine Comedy. What's going on? Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. I'm going to make sure you guys can hear me. This is going to sound incredibly vain, but man, I look good today. Look at me. I look fantastic. This is the best I have looked in weeks. Here's my secret today, honestly, if you're paying attention. I showered right before the show. I showered. I did my hair, kind of did a little thing to the hair. It's growing out. And I'm wearing the button shirt. There we go. I'm wearing the good button shirt. You can't really see the mess behind me on my desk, but you can see my Chicago flag. I think the picture looks good. I did good with the lighting. I'm tooting my own horn today, man. I'm very excited. I'm in a really good mood. Thanks for being here, man. As always, it is Monday. It's the first show of the week. Christmas is coming up. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope life has found you well and you're safe and everything's going to be okay and you're taking care of your family and your friends and you're healthy and you're good. And you're following the stupid COVID rules we have to follow. They're stupid, but we got to follow them. Wear the mask. It's not that big a deal. Put the mask on. Just wear it. That's all. Wear it. I'm so used to it now. I can't. I wear it when I sleep. That's how used I am to the mask. I'm going to wear it all the time. I'll never take my mask off. It's off now, but that doesn't count. A lot of people here today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and being here. Real quick in the news, I was checking out the news. There's not a lot going on. Here's one news story that I saw. The Republican senators are slowly beginning to accept Biden as the president, so that's good. It just took them 2 months or a month, right? 6 weeks? Yeah, whatever. Those are guys we voted in power. Okay, whatever. That's fine. It's whatever that was. William Barr is leaving on December 23rd. Eddie Van Halen's ashes are going to be given to his brother. They also came up with his cause of death. That's a sad note. There was a lot more wrong with Eddie Van Halen than I thought there was. I'm a huge Van Halen fan. Still devastated over that news. What else is going on? Any good news? Okay, no, okay. Oh, the vaccine's coming out. I know some people that have already gotten it. A couple people. Honestly, I do. People in the front line, man. So, and I know some people that are doing the trials too. But they're going to pass it out to, I guess, the nursing homes start getting it next week right here. U.S. nursing homes. They will begin immunization next week. So this week is the front line. Next week is so good luck. If you're going to take the vaccine, I don't know. If I go back on ships, I'm going to have to take it. But I think I got a month or two to decide. My daughters don't want to take it. That's all I know. Oh, also, if you're a ship, there's a lot of people here that are ship fans and cruisers, and let's cover this really quick. Carnival, huge announcement this week. 19 ships they're planning on launching in March. That's their plan. That's a very aggressive launch. And then includes all of the ports, including Long Beach, where I normally go out of. So they're planning on Long Beach, the Panorama. That's the most recent new ship. The Mardi Gras is going to be launched later in the year, next year in April. That's their next new ship, but the Panorama is their most recent one. They will launch out of Long Beach in March, and then I believe the Miracle, if I heard correctly, I might be wrong on that, is going out of San Diego. Here's how that's going to work. This is the plan so far. I do know this much. Out of Long Beach, they're doing the 7-day cruises, the 7-day Baja run, which will be to Puerto Vallarta and Mazatlan and so forth. And from what I understand, all this can change too in like 3 minutes. But the Miracle is going to be doing the 3-4-day runs, which are the ones that I did quite often with my kids when I brought them Inspiration, Imagination, if you ever did that run out of Long Beach. That's going to be out of San Diego now. So it's a 3-day cruise, 4-day cruise. That's where you're going to go. So hopefully that happens. So I'm excited. I would like for the ships to launch, obviously. I would like to go back. If they should launch in March, I'll go back to work. Yeah, I didn't realize it would be that many. That's their plan. So 19 ships is a lot. All right, let's go to the board. Let's see who's here. Lori Solanka's here. Man, Lori, what's up? Usually you work and you can't watch the show till you come home from work. So I'm honored that you're here now. Thank you very much. And Steve Reisman is here. Steve Reisman and Risman. I don't know which one it is because every time I say it, he tells me I say it right every once in a while. But he hasn't told me which one is correct. So I'm going with Steve Risman because there's no E at the end of the S's. The video on my phone is your face. And on TV, it's just your sign audio. Okay, there we go. I guess I'm on his phone. I think that's me. Como for Attorney General. I don't know what political conversations on my board now. Okay, and everybody else is saying hello. Robin Greenberg, how are you? The Mulligans are both here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Lori Solanka, thank you. I already mentioned you. Tammy Mulligan is here. And everyone that we involved. Thank you for joining, being involved in the writer session Saturday, December 26th. We have our big show, Reconnecting Comedy. We would talk about it toward the end of the show. Folks, today's a very special show. I'm excited. I normally have a lot of different comics in here, a lot of entertainers, and I think you guys know that we talk about how COVID has changed our lives and the way we're moving forward, the way that people have reinvented their careers, changed their path, and just as importantly, have tried to get through the last 9 months of the quarantine, everything that's been longer than we thought it would be. But we talk commonly about how we're getting by, man, how we're surviving. I brought somebody on the show today. I'm honored that she's here. That someone that can actually talk to us about how to do that. So let's get started, folks. Marla Greenberg was referred to me by my friend Laura Orico, who we saw on the show a little while ago. She's an energy healer, and we've got to talk about her new book. She's a best-selling author. I've never had a best-selling author on the show. I'm a little intimidated. I'll be honest with you. I've got to try not to screw this up. But why don't we take a second and take a look at a video from my good friend, Laura Greenberg. Wait a second. I'm sorry. We're going to do this. I'm doing this over because I screwed it up. It's Laura Goldberg. I apologize a million times over. I've been doing it all day long. Go ahead. You can yell at me. I can hear you if you want to yell at me, Laura. Go right ahead. Marla Goldberg. Marla Goldberg. Marla Goldberg. Tell me I'm an idiot. Tell me. See, at least you're laughing. Okay. All right. We're going to take a look at a video from my very good friend, Marla Goldberg.
Crisis or uncertainty, self-care may be just what you need.
Self-care is so important, whether it's internal or external. It's a daily practice, in my opinion. If a message is coming and I'm not listening to it, it's sort of like a tap on my shoulder. It's none of my business what information is coming through me for somebody else. It's for somebody else, and I'm not going to censor it. I'm going to say it the way it is because that's the way the spirit, whoever is giving me the message, wants it to be. Open your window. Let fresh air. Take out the stale air and bring in fresh air. It feels so good, it smells so good, and it just also helps with the energetic cleaning. Look at every day like a blank canvas. You are the artist of your day. You can make your day as colorful as you want or as black and white as you want. That's up to the individual.
Folks, welcome to the show right now. Please do me a favor. Welcome here live, the one and only Marla Goldberg. There she is.
Hello. How are you doing, Lenny?
I'm so sorry I screwed up your name. I knew all day long I was going to do it. I knew it all day long because every time I typed it in and I kept saying Greenberg because I watched Mike Greenberg, who's a sports guy on ESPN. It's been messing me up all day.
So you had a self-fulfilled prophecy.
Yes, I did. That's exactly what happened. Thank you very much. Thank you. And then I mentioned Laura's name and I mixed it all up and it was confusing. So my apologies.
Okay. It's good company.
Oh, good. Oh, there you go. Company. Yeah. We're mentioning Laura's the bomb. All right, Marla, how are you?
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very good, man. I'm excited for the show today. I'm in a good mood. I'm happy. I worked out today.
You look good. You're wearing a button-down shirt.
I put on a nice shirt for you. I usually look like a slob. I got news for you.
I put on a peacock for you.
Oh, see, there we go. I like it. See, even the guests notice too. Even the people are watching the show live. I have a loyal following. Not a ton of people, but everyone that follows tunes in for every episode. So they are all here watching the show now and very excited.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. So you're in North Carolina. How are you doing with the COVID situation? Where are you at? Are you at home? Are you good?
Right now, I'm in a home and I am doing really well. I live in a bubble, so
oh, good, right on.
I'm like the girl in the bubble, but I work out of my home, and so I don't get exposed to a lot. I do a lot virtually now. I'm not out in the public the way I was, the way many of us are.
Right.
And so I have to say, I've been very busy. I've been very blessed. And I've been, for the most part, in a really great place. So, I know a lot of people aren't. And a lot of people, this is affecting them on so many levels. And yeah. I just use, I believe in walking my talk or talking. Walking my talk.
Walking your talk. Walk the walk talk the talk. Okay.
Yeah. Walking my talk and doing the things that I talk about to keep my vibe up, to keep in a good mood, to keep happy, productive.
Right.
So that's what I try to do.
Well, I love the video. I love the analogy of opening the window. Like I try to do that a lot to get the wind in and get the wind going and all that stuff. And I got to ask, I read, first of all, let's start with this. When did the new book come out? The one just recently, the
journal,
my
sacred journal.
Sacred journal.
It came out earlier this year, probably April.
Okay.
April or May.
Oh, so it came out after the March, after everything started.
And
wow,
after it started, but the book started before.
Right.
So my first book, My Effing Long Journey or My Fucking Long Journey to Loving Myself, A Guide to a
Sure.
Shorter Path,
Yeah, yeah, I
which
love that,
is
by the way. I
really,
love that title's the best.
well, and it's true. I mean, you
Yeah.
just feel like, oh my God, is it never going to end? When am I going to learn my lesson? And I finally did, thank God. And so, but I wanted to share with people, it's a memoir slash self-help book. So in the memoir, yes, I vomit my life and all its beauty out for the world, but I give it, I put in the back of the book, I use my tools, the tools that helped me turn my life around. And so the journal was one of the tools. I wanted to keep developing actual tangible tools for people to use.
Okay.
And so that's why the journal was put together.
Well, I like the idea of the fact of writing it down. What did you say? There's a phrase you used in the book that I really liked a lot. Hang on. It was unearthing and releasing all that no longer serves you. You know what I mean? I think
Yes.
that's a really cool statement, because then you write it all down in the book, and then you're kind of emptying yourself of those things that just don't serve you anymore, correct?
Yes, well, and it brings it to light. So it helps you process. It helps you develop dreams and goals and desires, because sometimes you're sort of stuck in your own way. And by writing it down, it helps you process it out. It helps you to determine, what do I want to do with my life? You were mentioning all these people who are out of work and they have to reinvent themselves until they can go back to work. And even when they go back to work, how is that work going to be? Like, I was watching that One Night in Broadway, which was phenomenal. I don't know if you saw it on Sunday. I think it was
No,
Sunday,
I did not.
but it was really phenomenal. And all these people on Broadway, and you think, just the people in the front of the house, right? The celebrities, but you forget about the makeup artists, the hair people, the grips, the lighting people, the ushers, the ticket people. All of these people are not
Yeah.
working.
Right.
And it's brutal, and sometimes you just have to reinvent yourself. And what I always suggest, well, through this COVID especially, is get creative. Do you have a hobby? Do you have a passion? What can you do for it? I had a friend who used to make body butters and those bombs, those bath bombs,
Yeah.
and scrubs,
Yeah,
salt
I
and
know.
sugar scrubs.
I have teenage daughters. I know exactly what those are.
So, but you can make a living doing it if you do it well enough, and you get creative enough. People will buy it. There are people that still have money, that still have disposable income, maybe not as much as they had before, but they're still spending.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point, because one of the things we talk about on the show a lot is, I mentioned in the intro too, is that 77% of people in live entertainment lost 100% of their income, and that does include those people you mentioned, the grips. People don't think about the ripple effect of shutting down Broadway, for example, and that's not just Broadway.
Yes.
I was supposed to be in Vegas this weekend, and that show just got canceled. So it's a ripple everywhere you go. There's shows all over the country in different places where they're shutting it down. And that means now the sound people aren't working, the tech people aren't working. And let's break it down even further. I was supposed to stay at a hotel. Now that room is vacant. Now there's not, the dry cleaners. I mean, there's so many different things. It's a triple, it affects so many different people.
And what are they selling in the stores now? The big trend they call them joggers, but they're sweatpants. I mean, at the end of the day, they're sweatpants. People are living in sweatpants and t-shirts.
I got new shoes. I'm wearing sweatpants. Look, I got the sweats. I got a nice shirt on, but I'm wearing the sweatpants. I'm not lying to you. Yeah, I got tons of sweatpants.
Workout capris. So.
Yeah, there you go. See? Yeah, no, everything has changed. So I guess you look at the negative or the positive. I get to wear sweatpants while I'm wearing a button shirt. So.
Well, that's it. So you can gain the what do they call it? The COVID-15, and you don't feel a thing because it goes with you.
I know. I hear.
You're going to have to do something when you have to get into those button pants.
Well,
pants or dresses.
I'll be honest with you. You know what I do is every once a week I throw a pair on just because, and I'll go out and be uncomfortable in them just because I want to know. You know what I mean? I want because if you wear sweatpants too much, you'll never get the pants back on. You know what I'm saying? So then I can go. All right, I need to cut back on the burritos or something. There's got to be something that's got to help me at least be aware of it. Because if you don't wear the pants, if I'm always wearing the sweats, I'm in trouble. So
exactly.
But I think you bring up a good point, because this is episode 127 now I've done in the show, and I've talked to lots of different entertainers and lots of different people, and many of them have moved on and created a whole new business or vibe, or I mean, you got to eat. Everyone's got to.
Yes.
You got to survive. You can't. But some people sit around and are just waiting for things to go back to normal. And you're like, unfortunately, things are never going to really go back to normal.
They're not.
We have to wrap our heads around the idea that the world is changing, and you have to adapt and find a way to do it. I think that's so hard for people to do. It's so hard. I think even more so here in this country, in the United States, because people are so. I don't think people here understand how it's different in other. I know I'm babbling a little bit, but in other countries, here we're so set in our ways that when people say, "Well, this has to change," people are like, "No, what? No, it doesn't."
Right. But it's going to change. And here's the thing. Change is the only constant. The only thing you can count on happening is change. So if you're not wanting to change, you're going to find yourself stuck in a really dismal place. I don't know if you follow astrology and what's going on, but not only is there changing in our new norm, but there's a huge energetic shift happening this month. And though I'm not an astrologer, it's big.
Right. My daughters are huge into astrology, and they tell me that every single day. They know. Dad, you have no idea what's going on. There's a whole energy thing going on. There's a whole change happening. They're totally. So I hear about it constantly. So you're right. The only thing that is constant is change. Things constantly change. So let me ask you this, because it mentions you talk about. Like, I'm a big believer in self-help and going to therapy. I've always tried to improve myself and adapt and change. And I think in a lot of ways, I'm fortunate. I've gone through a lot of huge changes in my life that I've had to change and adapt. So I'm used to the fact but there's a lot of people that have never had any hard times or have never gone, and I think it's harder on them. So what is your advice? What do you do to stay positive through something like this when you have absolutely no control over what's going on around you?
Well, like you, I've hit bottom, and I'm assuming you hit bottom when you said
every Sunday I hit bottom. It's a thing.
I know I hit bottom a number of times, and hence the reason I got that book title. But you just have to, and when I say this for people, keeping your vibe up high. So you're starting to feel bad, you're starting to feel down. Put on the music that makes you dance, that make you sing, that, because you can't feel bad if you're dancing or singing. You just can't feel bad doing that. And once you start feeling better, it's like it throws off. If you look at all the negative stuff as a shell and the vibration is cracking through when you're singing and dancing and moving around and being joyful or running or working out, whatever it might be, it like cracks the shell and pushes the shell away.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know how to do it, start at the easy place. Start by making yourself feel good.
That's a great. That's great. I don't mean to cut you off, but I tell my daughter that the same thing, because we were big on exercise. She's a huge exercise freak, and we go on hikes. And when a lot of times we're in a bad mood, we just go on a hike. Just movement alone, it helps. And plus, a hike. I mean, you're outside, nature, fresh air, sun. I mean, that helps so much.
It helps a lot. And being in nature and being able to appreciate nature. Now, the people in the Midwest, where I assume you come from, where I come from.
Right.
I see the Chicago flag behind you.
Yeah, right.
On my home.
Yeah, I have a lot of Chicago. I have people just asked on here. They're like, "Is she from Chicago?" Because they went to your website. They saw your phone number. So they're like, "Is she from Chicago?" And yes, she is. She is from Chicago as well. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes. No, it's a little frigid there. To possibly hike. Some people are very hardy and they like it. They ski, or they what is it when you ski on one blade?
Snowboarding.
Thank you. Or they snowboard.
Sorry, we need the young hip kids in here to explain these things to us. So I'm with you. Snowboard. Yeah.
Sounds like I paddle board.
Yes, board. That's really good for you. That's good core work, that paddle board.
Oh, it's wonderful. And if you ever do yoga on that, oh my God, that's amazing.
On the board? Oh, that's a great idea, because you got to really focus on your core even more. My daughter would love that.
They have a little weight that you put down. You throw in the water to keep you from drifting, and then you can do your yoga on it.
Oh, that's great. I never even thought of that. All right. Yeah, that's really smart. Okay.
So, but nature, you were saying nature, and I'm very fortunate. Where I live is a bird sanctuary. And so we have the most amazing birds that I've never seen before. And I get to watch them play, and that's so uplifting for me because it's birds I haven't seen before. It's beyond a robin and a cardinal and a sparrow. Um,
Right.
and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
I
those
hear
are
you.
the main birds. So, I mean, these amazing waterfowl, and I just, sit by the water and watch them, and it's peaceful and it's calming. And meditation's another thing you can do. So you were asking me that question. What do you do if you don't know, if you're not accustomed to change, if you're not accustomed to having to be flexible because you've never had to deal with it? Meditation, getting quiet. It's amazing what you can learn about yourself, about others. And if you learn how to get quiet in that space, you can get information about your life. That's
I
where intuition comes from.
I agree with you totally. I'm always amazed though how some people are so reluctant to not sit down and breathe. You know what I mean? Like, or even try, even silence. Silence freaks people out. Like I learned a big deal about being present when I was in therapy. This is one of the things that that kind of clicked for me. It just, everything all of a sudden was everything's about being present. That's all that matters right now is you're here, you're in the moment. And some people can't be in a moment. They can't, it's a mind.
It's what's going on.
Yeah. It's a mind screw or whatever. You're absolutely right.
Well, because you're so used to thinking and strategizing and doing this and doing that. And so it's like exercising all the time and not knowing what it's like to just not exercise, not move.
Right.
And have you ever seen somebody? I have a friend, I love her dearly, and she's a constant cleaner. She can't sit. She has to clean, and she's always doing this or doing that.
Oh, that's
And
cool. Could she come over to my
that's
place? That'd be great if she came over here.
I want to bring her down here.
Yeah, just have her stop by for like an hour.
But she it's great for her house because it's immaculate. But she may be one of those people that would have a hard time because she doesn't know how to just sit and be, and it's a practice.
Right. Yeah, you got to train. You got to. When I first went to therapy, one of the things my therapist taught me early on was when you get up in the morning, think about how quick it takes you to worry about something. He goes, I want you to be aware. And when you wake up, I want you to recognize the first thing. You have a tendency to wake up in the morning and start to worry about things. And sure enough, I would wake up. I wouldn't, not even out of bed yet. And I'm starting to worry about the bills and the thing and the work and the whatever. And he was the one that told me, he's like, just when you wake up in the morning, just take 15 minutes, man. Just take 15 minutes and just look at the walls. Just breathe. Just don't think about anything. And it took me a long time to be able to do that. But boy, when I was able to do it, I felt like I lost 100 pounds. You feel great. It's just a great freeing feeling to be able to let that stuff go, and just really, and just have much more control of your mind instead of letting it take control of you.
It's true. It's very, very true. I mean, I sort of do other things and then I go back into my quiet space, but I've learned not to think.
Yeah.
I know that sounds strange, but I've learned from practicing. I mean, like you said, it's a practice.
Yeah.
I don't get up and I don't start projecting into my day. I just project into what do I have to do now?
Yeah.
What do I have to do in this very moment?
Right.
Like you said, mindful.
Yeah. No, mindfulness. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. That's perfect. You're absolutely right. Yeah, that's. But you're right. It takes training. You got to practice it. It's something you can't just go, oh, don't think about anything. All right, no problem. You know what I mean? It took me forever to really be able to do that without freaking out.
And especially now, everybody has such heavy weights on their shoulders. What are they going to do for work? And even if they don't need to work, what are they going to do to fill their day? Because people who used to fill their day lunching and shopping, and I'm talking about women more than men, because women do that more than men do. But, shopping and lunching and just visiting with their friends and working out. And now all of a sudden you can't. And we're how many months in? 9 months in? 10 months in?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot. And people are just climbing the walls because they can't do their normal thing, live their normal life, like you said, but it's not going to be normal again.
Right.
So what do? You've got to find the new normal. Fill your day doing something else. Like you said, take a walk. Yeah. You call it a hike. I call it a walk. But it's still the same thing. Get outside, be in nature, and if you can't, go take a drive somewhere. If it's too cold to walk, drive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know,
getting outside helps a ton. Just being, and I'm one of those guys that kind of like walking in the cold. When I was in Chicago, I used to get up early in the morning and walk, and I kind of like that cold air in the lungs thing. I was always a big fan of that. I thought it was really cool. I know you look at me like I'm crazy, but I did. I was one of those guys like I'll walk to the store. People are like, "You're what?" And I'm like, I didn't care. I lived in the city. We walked all over the city. I didn't really.
Well, you do walk all over the city. I love the
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
I was born and raised in the city. So, I mean, I was a city girl until I got married the first time and then moved to the suburbs. But when I got asthma, now walking outside, my lungs, just seize up and it's like, oh.
Oh,
And so,
outside? Oh, that sucks.
yeah, in the cold weather, it does suck.
Oh, right.
Because I have a big old dog and I used to have to walk him a mile before so he would not go to the bathroom like normal dogs. He would just like go outside, do their thing and come back in.
Right.
Even in the below weather temperature, I'd
Yeah.
have to walk him a half a mile out before he would take care of business and a half a mile back. And by that time I was frozen.
You know what
And
that means? He had you trained. That's what it was.
That's
He was like, well, I'll do this, but you're walking with me.
Well, here's what our trick was. We would put him in the car. We'd warm up the car. We'd stick him in the car. We'd take him to the smelly spot,
Yeah.
where it smelled good for him.
Yeah.
And then walk him up and down that block until he took care of business. Put him back in the car and drive home.
And drive him back? You had him trained even more. He got a warm escort to the smelly spot. You think you got one up on him, and he's probably bragging to his dog friends. He's like, dude, she'll drive me down the block. I don't know if the
honey,
car's
I'd
all
do
heated
anything
up.
for him. 110 pounds of love.
110 pounds?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
man, that's
is.
a big dog.
He's a
All
big
right.
dog. And before he had hip issues, he was like, I don't know, if on his hind legs, he was like 6 feet, 6'2".
Oh, boy. What kind of dog was he?
He is. He's not dead.
Okay.
He's a
I'm
Rottweiler.
sorry. I'm not assuming anything. You're like, hey, Shay, he's fine. He's right here. Shut up.
He's a Rottweiler Coonhound mix.
Oh, wow. What's his name?
Tug.
Tug. That's a badass name for a big dog. I like that. That's because he probably tugged you around the city when he was moving around and spry.
Yeah, he would. He had his
Oh, that's the best. Hey, so let me ask you. Most of the people I talk to, like even comics, like I do. Look, I'm doing this is online. Everything I do is online now. Everything is virtual, digital, and even my daughters, when they go to therapy now, therapy is online. It's through Zoom. So have you adapted as well? You mentioned you're doing more things virtually, so I assume that would mean that you're doing much more things online.
I do pretty much everything online. I do take some classes, and I drive to Georgia for them. But other than that, I pretty much am online with everything.
Okay.
I do speaking engagements online. I do sessions online. I do meditations online, visualizations online. I'm putting together an online educational platform with my co-founder, my colleague.
Okay.
And
Oh, that's
so it's
the
called
that's the GCDC, right?
yes,
The global
Consciousness Development Circle.
Okay, excellent. And I looked at that page as well. So you guys are putting that together and launching that. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I can. It is a phenomenal online educational platform, and we have some incredible preeminent teachers who will be teaching their subject matter. And it's for personal growth and spiritual growth. And so we have online meditations. Right now, we've been doing it for almost a year live on the second and fourth Saturday of the month. So if you go to my Global Consciousness Development Circle page on Facebook or GCDC, you can just tune in and watch. A lot of people, especially here on the West Coast, for the West Coast people, they watch the replays because most people don't want to meditate necessarily at 9 a.m. At 6 a.m. your time.
Right.
9 a.m. my time. We're going to have blogs, vlogs. We'll put special events on, summits, both online as well as in person when we can start doing in-person events. And I'm really proud of what we're putting together because it's about community and supporting the community, through these amazing facilitators, our faculty.
Right. Okay. That's let's go. Hold on. I got a shot of the website. Right. That's the website right there. Yeah. You can take a look at the take a look at the website.
That looks like,
Hang on.
we're in the process of launching that. That's our no, that's our Indiegogo page. So they can.
Okay.
We have no backers. We have 8 days left, no backers, but we're trying to learn our way around the crowdfunding game.
Right. Well, everybody's online doing something now. So, well, that's awesome. And you guys, so besides that, you're doing sessions online. You're doing a lot of virtual meetings online, and meditation online. How's that? I know my daughter's been doing meditating online.
The meditations are fabulous. When COVID first came out, I did a meditation a day for 45 days. Sort of at the place where I thought, oh, this is going to be done in 45 days. And then it didn't.
Yeah, I was with you. I was like, well, by July.
But I really went outside my comfort zone because I had never led guided meditations. And so I jumped on because I wanted to be a support to people who needed to be, who needed calm, who needed to reset, who needed to go within and learn, just how to be quiet and ground themselves so that they weren't, just walking around all frazzled.
Right.
And so I did that for 45 days in a row. And then we continue with the 2 times a month. So, and we bring guest meditators, which are phenomenal.
That's awesome. That's the best. That's see, everybody, you had to find a way to adapt to do this stuff online. And it's so important now. Man, this meditation thing is such a big deal now, with especially now this holiday season. Holidays are tough on a lot of people anyway. So
yes,
I mean, you're going to add 10 million things to it besides the shutdown. God forbid someone's lost a loved one, or if people have lost their jobs. I mean, this is such an important time to have a good spiritual connection with yourself and mindfulness, and really to meditate, to be able to do that stuff. And if people can jump online and do it with you, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I would welcome them. Again, the 2nd and 4th Saturday of the month, we do it live, and you can watch the replay, but you can get on and see the replay on our GCDC page as well. So, check them out because, they're evergreen.
That's a great idea to play the replay. How do they stay up forever? The replays, you leave them up constant?
Yeah,
okay.
They're not seasonal. We don't have, it's not like, okay, here's your Christmas meditation or your Hanukkah meditation, right. where you can't do it in June because it sounds weird. Like, okay, bring this in. But so they're evergreen and you can do it all the time. And you can do it. Look even if you can't sit quietly, and I want to talk about a fallacy in 1 second, but even if you can't sit quietly for 15 minutes or 20 minutes, close your eyes and just slow breathe for 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. And I think anybody can do that. And if you start thinking about something, just count your breath. You can count, 6 in, 2 holding, 8 out, whatever works for you. 4 in, 2 holding, 6 out. But it just makes a huge difference.
No, it's No, that's good. That's awesome. My first therapist used to teach me that, and he used to do this thing where he used to do the thing where your chest was a window, and you pretend that your chest is opening up, and every time you inhale, you're inhaling air, but when you exhale, you're exhaling all the negative and all the hard and all the harsh things. And that was an exercise that really helped me a ton early on. I mean, just for some reason, it just clicked for me. It's weird. There's certain things that click for different people, and that was one that worked for me like a charm.
I used to do that one because it's important. It's important to get rid of the stress, like breathe in peace, breathe out stress. But now I'm at the point where I just breathe in love and I breathe out love. So I can receive the love, but I can share the love, because really everything is based on love. Which is a whole new conversation.
Yeah. But it's the right conversation. That's good. That's good. All right, let's go to the board, because somebody had a question for you. Somebody asked, and where in Chicago are you from? He's guessing north suburbs. Is that correct?
Well, I was originally from West Rogers Park, which is now I think called Westridge.
Okay.
And then I was in the city for a long time until I got married the first time. And yes, then I went to the North Shore.
Okay. Oh, no, sure. It's so nice up there. I'm reading questions. People make comments and questions. One, I want a serious question, though. I have two jokes, and I'm not asking that
Oh,
question.
come on. Tell me, ask me anything.
Okay, here's a question from Keith Runyon. You brought this upon yourself. Do you believe caustic relationships can affect spiritual health like psychic vampires draining positive energy? I guess that's almost
Yes, and that's a very serious question.
I guess it is a serious question. I apologize, Keith. I didn't give him enough credit. I saw a vampire and right away assumed Keith was being a jerk. It was my bad. That was my bad.
No, not at all. There are people that you would say are energy vampires. We've all had them. They're the people who come in and you spend time with them and they just suck you. You know, by the time they leave, you just feel drained and like all your energy is sucked out because they leave feeling great because they sucked all your good energy and took it with them.
Right. No, I got people like that in my life where we should just stop hanging out with them. You can't. I mean, there's no.
You can't.
Yeah, you can't. It was painful, and it was just you're right. Their energy sucked the moment they get in the car. You'd be like, ugh. I mean, you could feel it even without the words. It was such a vibe. But you're right. Everything was just negative, and you're like, oh man, you got to get out of this vibe or whatever. But yeah, that's a good point. I'm sorry, Keith. That was correct. What else?
Yes, there are energy vampires. Yes, you can do something about energy vampires, and I'm a firm believer. There's some experiences where you can't necessarily excuse yourself from being in their presence, but you can limit your time with them.
Yeah, that's one thing. And budget. Yeah, and at least you're also mentally aware. There's also ways to be able to combat that. Like if you have to, like a good example is if you work with somebody. If you're a coworker and you go to work, you're like, oh, I'm working with Tom. I can't believe I got to work with Tom. So you're at least mentally prepared. How would you suggest dealing with the site if you have to deal with this person?
Send him love. Send him love. Don't say, Tom, I love you. But I would go, in my mind, I would say, I love you.
Yeah.
I love you. I love you. I'm sending you love. I love you. And just keep doing that. And it's amazing because people will feel it.
Yeah, no, that's true. Well, that was a trick I played with. I didn't really play the trick with my ex-wife. It was my ex-wife because it was at a point when we were going through our divorce. Everything was a fight, so I reached a point where I just agreed with her on everything. I literally just didn't engage, and it confused her. She would get mad again, but couldn't because I wasn't mad. Like I wouldn't. Even though she would get mad and insult me, I would be like, oh, okay. And she would, what do you mean okay? She would get so frustrated. She didn't know how to, it really messed her up. It was really hard for her to be able to figure out how to deal with that. But.
Well, because she was out to wound and hurt.
You're absolutely right.
And when you didn't get wounded and you didn't get hurt, she lost the battle.
Yeah. And then.
She couldn't get you.
Yeah. And her thing was, I don't want to get too deep on her. I try not to talk. We get along very well right now, by the way. I'm not going to insult her.
So let's not go into the negative.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But she knew. I mean, she was hurting at the time. So a lot of times that's what happens when somebody is hurting. They hurt people around them, and that's the only way they can combat, or that's their technique to deal with it. It's not healthy, but that's what they do.
It's true. I mean, and it depends who wants the divorce and who deals with the divorce first too.
True.
So, like in my case, I wanted the divorce from my first husband, and he made it as arduous and painful as possible.
Ooh, okay.
And I just kept saying, let's be civil. We have kids, so I adopted his children. Let's be civil. Let's make this easy. And I'm the one who ended up being healthier. I mean, I was fractured. He didn't break me, and that's what they all try to do, is to break you.
Yeah, but then a lot of times though, you end up in a place where you're at now, because if you go the route where you become healthier, it's possible to become stronger out of that situation. It's difficult, but you become stronger out of that situation because you didn't break. Does that make sense? I'm no genius.
It's true, but anytime conflict is put in front of you, I look at them as stepping stone to growth.
Right. Okay.
So. Because everything is growth. So if something happens and you don't, it's not a positive thing, it could be from ill health or something else, a relationship breakup. It's like, okay, what I do is I go, okay, what am I supposed to learn? Is there a gift opportunity? What's in it for me? What am I supposed to get from this? Because there's a lesson, opportunity, or gift in absolutely everything that happens,
Right.
positive or negative.
Yeah, well, that's true. There's something. It's just like that. It's similar to the cliche: "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." I mean, you learn, like you said, the most important statement. I think something I try to teach my kids is they beat themselves up. They do something wrong, and they're really hard on themselves. And I always tell them to not to do that, and just learn the mistake, learn the lesson, and then take it and move forward. And then later in life, you're like, oh, I should do this or I shouldn't do that.
Well, you're giving them tools for their toolbox.
Yeah, right. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, see, I'm doing something. Yeah, hey, I'm giving you tools for your toolbox. Just want them to know that I care.
I think they heard it next door too.
Yeah, they heard it. They got their earbuds in. They're not listening to me. They know I'm recording right now. They're always doing other things. Let's see. Here's other question. I have other questions for people. Oh, what? Steve Risman or Reisman from Chicago wants to ask or talk about what kind of training have you had? What have you Did you study somewhere? Or what happened? What was your training?
I've been studying for almost 20 years. I'm still studying. My first school was a mystery school. I walked away with 14 healing modalities under my belt. I'm still studying. I go to Delphi U in McKaysville, Georgia, to learn more things. I've been studying on and off for almost 20 years.
Wow, that's because you never stop. That's good. Wait, let me ask you this. This is my own question.
Yes.
What do you think about crystals?
I love crystals.
Okay.
Can you see them behind me?
No, I can see them now. All right.
Those are my small crystals.
Okay.
I have cathedrals and geodes, and I'd fill my house with them because if I could.
Yeah, because we're into them now. Like what am I wearing? I always forget the name of this one. It's the blue one.
Oh, amethyst.
I'm wearing amethyst. I'm wearing amethyst. But my daughters have tons of crystals, and we go to there's a place down the street we go to. I'm actually going out there tomorrow to get them a bunch of crystals for Christmas because they're huge into crystals, and I mean they got them all over the room, and they got pouches and tapestries, and I mean they're really into all that stuff. So I was wondering if you really believed in the healing aspect of crystals and the energy they give.
I do. And I took off my bracelets because they make so much noise, but these are my dailies. Not my special event bracelets, but I wear these. And so I have angelite, calcite, and tiger eye, and carnelian, and no amethyst.
Okay.
But they jiggle, so I thought they'd make too much noise on the mic.
Yeah, I used to a couple. Let me ask you, what do you think? What's a good crystal for anxiety?
Quartz crystal is great for everything. I love amethyst.
Okay.
I absolutely love amethyst. I love fluorite. Let's see, what else do I have up here? I love pink tourmaline.
Okay. Oh, that's cool looking. All right.
Isn't that lovely? It's beautiful. It's one of my faves.
Okay. All right. Cool. Mike, where's the quartz? Is the first one you mentioned? That's the one my daughters both. That's what they asked for specifically for Christmas. So I know I've got to.
And here's the thing. Let me show you. So when you get with lots of beautiful peaks on top, I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
This is a small one, but these little clusters, they make them really powerful. Additionally powerful. So I'm playing show and tell.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's good. I like it. That's like it looks like you pulled that right out of Superman's lair, Superman's fortress of destiny. What do they call that? Superman's house, Fortress of Solitude. That's it. Did you ever see Superman? Okay. That's what it looks like. Everything is all like white. It's all crystals. It's all
But the green is the one that it's his kryptonite, right?
Yeah,
green
that
is
one.
Kryptonite.
Green is bad for him, but the white one is good. But green is bad.
Yeah.
At least that's what the books tell me.
Yeah, I just love having crystals around.
Yeah, I got to admit, the girls love them. We love having them at the house, man. So I'm going to go buy some for them tomorrow. I was really asking about the energy aspect of it because they really strongly believe it.
But yes, it's definitely powerful. And the more you have, don't people walk into your house when you have a lot of crystals and they go, wow, it feels really good in here?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
It's part of the crystals because it clears the energy. It helps clear things and keep your energy clearer.
Yeah, the girls' room has that. Their room is the best room in the house. You know what I mean? You walk in there, it's nice. Are you now they're really big into astrology. Like what's your sign? And what moon is your house in? What?
So what moon is my house in? I'm a Sagittarius. My birthday's next Monday, which is a big day astrologically.
Happy birthday or early birthday. Mine was last week. I'm a Sagittarius as well. Yeah.
Happy belated.
Yes, thank you.
But I'm a Scorpio rising and a Leo moon. So it's a lot of strong signs.
I do know that. See, I know the Leo thing because there's a big debate going on here at the house because I don't know the exact time I was born. And I have my birth certificates, but for some reason the time isn't on there. So my daughter has launched a mission to find out the time because she's convinced I have my Leo rising. I'm in the Leo. I think there's a Leo rising in my house. I don't know how you say that. What do you say? I'm a Sagittarius with.
You have a rising and then you have a moon sign and a rising. So I'm Sagittarius with a Scorpio rising and a Leo moon.
Okay. I think my daughters think I'm a Leo
And
moon.
I have no idea what houses they are. I'm not, that's one thing I couldn't really get good at was astrology. I tried it for a short period of time.
It's a lot of information. There's a lot out there.
It's technical. It's very scientific. People think, oh, it's the stars, but it's very accurate and it's very scientific. And it's the longitude and the latitude and the times and the this and the that and the nodes and the squares and the trines and there's so much information.
See, you lost me at scientific. You lost me when you said scientific. I'm like, what? The nodes and the what? The who?
The one thing I do know is if something's a south node, it's karmic. And if something's a north node, it is more like current time.
Okay. I want to have some information to give my daughters. So I sound like, because they keep saying things and I don't know what they're talking about. And I just agree with everything they say. I'm like, all right, whatever you think.
Oh, just bring them on. I'll decipher for you.
I have to go. Hey! Anna's not here. All right, man. I want to see that Keith has been pumping out a lot of questions. I'm trying to sift through, see what else. How can I attract positive energy crystals? There we go. That's a good one. How can you attract positive energy through crystals?
Well, you have to attract positive energies. As far as I'm concerned, I believe that crystals can help clear energies, and there's manifestation stones to help you manifest. Like citrine is a great stone for manifesting abundance.
Oh, okay.
Anything in the yellowish family are good for manifesting abundance. But to bring good energy to you, I really think you need to get rid of some of the energies that aren't serving you. I don't want to call them negative because I think negativity is a perception. But I would say the energies that don't serve you.
Yeah, that's why the statement. I love that statement so much. That doesn't serve you. That's so significant. That makes so much sense. That's a better way to put all of it. You're right. Negativity is more of it's not really a real statement, but it's certain things just reach a point where they don't serve you anymore.
Well, I could think something is god awful, right? And you could say that's not so bad.
Sure, right.
But yet, that's why I say it's a perception. And so, what I perceive as horrible, you might say, "Oh, that's nothing," and it's like, really? It's horrible to me. So, that's why I say it doesn't serve you.
I love that phrase. I'm going to use it all the time. It's funny. My daughters are so into crystals. The first crystal I bought when I started getting back into them again was, I'm going to screw this one up too. What is it? Labraguthi?
Oh, labradorite.
What?
Labradorite.
That's it. Yeah. And it was from what I was told, it was supposed to help with change, to adapt to change or accept change. Is that correct? Because that's the reason I bought it.
It's good for that. It's good for, I'm trying to remember, I'm not a crystal expert. But I've got a bunch of hunks downstairs of it.
How many crystals do you have in your house? I got a bunch of hunks downstairs.
I've got a lot of rocks.
Well, I saw You lifted 5 pounds of bracelets you just showed me a second ago. Here's what I wear on a daily basis.
Well, that's why it gives me the biceps,
Yeah.
Keeps my biceps.
Good for you. See, you're getting your workout in. Smart girl. Smart girl.
There you go.
What else is going on from everybody else here? Rachel says that she can see the Leo in me. I don't know if that's good or bad. Okay,
Leo
that's
is
it.
strong.
Leo is strong. Leo, yes. Okay. All right. These guys are good. First of all, hey, let's cover this. You live in a bubble. Who are you living with in the bubble out there? Can I ask? Or is it your own
my
bubble?
husband.
Oh, did you have another husband?
I-
This is your second? What?
I have husband number 2.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, good for you then. All right. So you got the upgrade.
It's a definite upgrade. And the funny thing is my first French kiss when I was 15 years old in a schoolyard game of spin the bottle.
For this husband?
This husband.
Are you so? Oh, no way. That's the coolest thing ever. Really? All right.
Yeah.
So you realize after the first guy, you're like, I'm going back to that guy in the schoolyard.
No, it's funny. Facebook, right? So he wanted to be my friend, and I'm like, why? Why does he want to be my friend? We didn't talk before. Why does he want to be my friend now?
Right.
And then he started calling me, and then he'd say, if he didn't talk to me, he'd say, I'm calling to check in. And I'd pull the phone away and make a face like, I'm not your girlfriend. I'm not your wife. You don't have to check in with me. No, I make jokes that now he does.
You had no clue he was into you? Those weren't little hints to you?
No. No.
No, why
I wasn't even thinking in that direction. And then then we met for dinner, and oh my God, it was the worst dinner I ever had, Lenny. I mean, I
That's the best. He'd take you out. It was a bad date, the whole thing?
it was yeah, it was bad. For me, it was bad.
Why? What
And
happened?
then we
Why
get
was
up.
it so bad?
He
Why
goes,
was it so bad?
well, oh God, I say this, I talk about this in front of him, so I guess I could say it behind his back.
Well,
But he was so uncomfortable that he acted like he had this big 2x4 up his backside. And so it was just like he had no sense of humor. We had nothing to talk about. And I'm just sort of like, okay. And then we get up and he goes, you want to have lunch tomorrow? And I looked at him and I scrunched my face up and I like, really? Like, were you not at this dinner?
were you at a different date than I was? Because this didn't go well.
Yeah, exactly. But now I'm curious. And so I made a new rule because the old Marla would have like blown him off in a heartbeat and like, yeah, no, I'm not, I'm busy. And this was like, okay, now I'm curious. And okay, Marla, put the new Marla forward and give him a chance and see what he's going for. And so I did.
And look, there you go. And how long you been married to him now?
A little over 9 years.
Yeah. Well, good for you, Marla. Nice job. See, it worked out. Even though that's a lesson for everyone right there. You have a bad date. Look what happened 9 years later. He could have been just nervous and scared. That could have been the thing. He obviously. Yeah. Yeah. You don't,
That's what he says.
I'm sure. I believe him.
He
dropped enough hints with you that he was interested. You didn't catch on. So now he's at dinner going, now what do I got to do to impress her? I have no idea. So that'd be a lot of pressure. I know.
Yeah,
As a guy that's been on a
little sweater vest just didn't do it for me.
this poor guy. That's got to be a great. Yeah, but that's a. That's a great story. You guys can tell each other now. How great is that? I love that. Remember our first date? Yes.
Yeah, it was. But when he started letting his personality just blossom, he was hysterically funny and he's great. I'm like, God, I'm so glad I didn't toss this one away.
Yeah, good for you, man. That's a great move. That's a really good story. I love that. That's the best.
Thank you.
And good for you for trusting the new Marla to give it a shot. You know what I mean? Look at 9 years later. What a huge success. Now happy you are.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's and I didn't want to get married again. He had to really force me to okay, another story. Another one of these stories.
You didn't make this easy for him, did you?
Well, I wouldn't mind living with him. I just, my divorce was so god awful
that
I was like, he PTSD'd, right? I like, oh God, I don't want to do this again.
Right.
So I said, no, but we can be, yeah, I believe in spiritual marriage and living together, sharing a life day in and day out. You're married. You're acting like a married couple. The only thing is you don't go down the aisle. Like think of Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell.
Right.
They're
Right.
spiritually married. They're as married as two people can be without the legalities, except they do live in California. So there are a few legalities, aren't there?
Technically they are. Yeah. Right.
But neither here nor there. But no, my mother passed away. I had to put my dog down. It was right before Valentine's Day. And he goes, we'll talk about this, when I'm, because he was in the process of his divorce. And he goes, well, when I'm divorced, we'll talk about it. And I'm like, I don't want to get married. And there's dead silence. And it's right before Valentine's Day. And I was living in Memphis and he comes down to Memphis. And I'm talking to a girlfriend who's had these medical issues. And so finally it's like, okay, let's go. We were going for sushi. I grab my jacket, I put it on, and he grabs me by the lapel and he backs me up to the bed and he sits me down. And we used to have this joke where we would talk about how we felt about each other. And the other one would sarcastically say, what are you doing, proposing? And so he starts, sharing his feelings. And I'm like, yeah, what are you doing, proposing? And he goes, as a matter of fact, I am. And got down on one knee and pulled out a ring. And I'm like, in 10 minutes, I just said, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I couldn't say anything. And then he goes, well, are you going to answer me? And then I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? And it's like, okay, fine. Because just because you get engaged doesn't mean you have to get married.
Okay, fine. That's right. All right, what the hell? Just because we're committing doesn't mean we have to commit.
Well, it's commitment.
You're in it.
I want to spend my life with him. So that's a little insight into my personal life.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you told me that story. First of all, I love and agree with you. I don't I'm divorced once, and I used to think I'd never get married again. But I believe in spiritual marriage big time. Like I totally, very much so believe in that. But my divorce didn't end very well either. And boy, that will make you look at it a whole different way. The whole legal aspect of it is just, it was so ugly. And just the lawyer thing alone is just, if I got to call another lawyer, I hate it. Every day I call my lawyer. I was so annoyed. It was so painful, and it just, it sucks. And when you look at it now, you're like, well, there's no reason really for me to go back down that road and even risk that. So, but yeah, I don't know now. Maybe good for you for getting married again, though, for actually doing it worked.
Well, I did. And I have to tell you, I am so grateful I did because it was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life.
Good, right on.
But it's a different person, and we came at things with a different way. And we believe in. Here's two things I think are really important in a relationship: mutual support and mutual consideration.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think having mutual support and mutual consideration in a relationship makes the relationship just that much more stronger.
Right. Yeah, because it's got to be mutual, though. Because the problem is that sometimes it's so one-sided or it's demanding on one side. Do you know what I mean? Like I
do know. Believe me, I do know.
I do
know.
Sometimes I love talking to someone who's divorced because you just, you know what I mean? You just kind of look at things a little bit differently. you just, you know what I mean? Like I was at a wedding a couple of years ago, and I was sitting next to a friend that was divorced. It was very lovely. It was a beautiful wedding. It was huge. It was enormous. There's a lot going on. And I looked at my divorced friend, and I go, "Hey, when you're at weddings, do you ever think?" And she goes, "Yes." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. It's not just me. It's just kind of the magic kind of got sucked out of it. You know what I mean? I guess in a way. And it's not to say the relationships aren't fantastic going forward, but I didn't realize this until after. I was just as much as fault. 2 years of therapy taught me the mutual part of it is really important. It's got to be both sides. You have to be empathetic to them and listen to them and be giving. And now when I go into any dating relationship, the first thing I think about is whether or not I can provide to this person what they're going to be looking for. Because I think less people think about that aspect of it than anything. Does that make sense?
They don't. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that a lot of people go into relationships and how is it going to serve me? What's it going to do for me? Instead of how can we jointly build something, grow something,
right?
Do it together. And here, not everything is always 50-50, but life isn't 50-50. Sometimes you have to give a little bit more, but guess what? There are times you take a little bit more.
Right.
So, it's cha-cha. I love ballroom dancing and Latin dancing, so I like to do a lot of metaphors to dancing. So it's like the cha-cha, you go a couple steps back, you go this way, you go that way. It works.
You are the best person to add analogies I've ever met in my entire life. That's like the fourth one you're throwing out today. I'm going, wow, that's really accurate. That's actually really good. Yeah, that's the cha-cha's a great way to put it. You're right. Sometimes you take 3 steps backwards and 1 forward and then 3 back. I don't cha-cha, so I'm guessing on the numbers. But anyway, I know what you're saying. You move back and forth. But that goes back to the mutual understanding. Sometimes you understand they need more at a certain time, and they understand you need more at a certain time. So you're absolutely 100% correct.
And it's learning to be generous with yourself. Every
It's
time
not-
you look down, I'm thinking you're going to get some sort of snarky.
No, I
comment
keep
back
looking
to
when
me.
I'm trying to. I keep looking at the comments coming in. So they come in and no,
I know.
it's
I know
hard.
what
Here's
you're
the
doing.
thing. Here's the thing with my show, Marla. I do everything. I don't have a producer. Like I look and the
Right.
feeding and the lights, and it's all anything goes wrong, it's all on me. So you should have been on early on. This was a train wreck months ago. I got news for you. So
You're doing pretty well now.
yeah, I got it down. I just look around a lot. Sometimes I'm moving around. So people are like, "Are you paying
So
attention?"
no, people were asking questions. So I figure if I'm getting into my personal life, and I make some of these analogies that people go like, yeah, right.
No, they actually love this more than anything else. That any person I talk to, when we start talking about personal life and stories, they're all like, "Oh, I totally agree," blah blah blah, and they're all into that. Yeah, I gotta miss my guests or the people that the viewers. They're really very caring, lovely people. All of them, they're phenomenal, and they support everything I do, and they're really into all the conversations. So I think I'm very lucky that
And
they're
they're a
all.
reflection of you.
And they're what?
A reflection of you.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. I'll take that. Then they are good people. They're great people, in fact. They're amazing. These people are the best people. And they watch the whole show.
Also,
There's more people
voice
on here.
and singing.
There's more people now than there were at the beginning. Sometimes you yell at each other and give each other a hard time. Okay. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Thank you. That was the whole relationship stuff I did not expect we'd get to today. That's cool. I always think about that, especially the last 9 months, because it's just been me and my teenage daughters, and I'm not married or dating anyone, and it's that's another thing that's hard right now. If you're single right now, it's a hard time to be single for a lot of people. It's I'm lucky I have my daughters, but I mean even just any type of romantic relationship thing. There's a lot of people that are alone and are having a hard time right now.
They are. But here's the great news about being alone. You can get on to shows like this, watch, get involved, ask questions. And my information's out there. If somebody has a question, they can reach out to me directly. I don't bite. At least that's what I say.
So run that just okay. Yeah, I was going to say run it by your second husband. Don't ask Cam because he apparently doesn't get your attention early on. So
But he got it in the long run.
he did, and you won 9 years later. I'm telling you, it's the best story I've heard in weeks. I love it. I love the fact that you were like, all right, let's give him a second date. That was my favorite line of that whole story. Was like, all right, we'll go to lunch. What? Why? Why? What the hell?
But if you knew me before I started going down my metaphysical path, my journey, I wouldn't have. I would have said I'm busy and not have thought a second, a bit about it. I would have just blown him off.
Right.
And I mean, I got rid of a lot of really great men in my life because they breathed funny. I don't know, and I just was like, but I was so afraid to be intimate and have those kind of relationships. So I would find any reason to cut and run.
Right.
And in this, once I started going to my path, it was like, no, you have to give him more than one chance.
Right.
And so I learned to do that.
That's really smart.
Now, if they were batshit crazy, I wouldn't do it. But you have some of those.
Well, he had to have
I
some decent qualities to give him a second one. You know what I mean? There had to be at least a couple positives there. Even though you didn't like the sweater, and the dinner didn't go very well, it had to be something that made you go, all right, lunch.
I just, he seemed like a kind person. Boring, but kind. He's not boring at all. He's actually really funny. You said I could say anything on my mind.
You're right. I don't care. It's your husband. He's not mine. He's not going to ask me about it later.
He's not going to ask me either because he knows I don't think he's boring anymore.
Wow. All right. Well, we covered some bases tonight, Marla. Thank you so much for being here. I would love to have you back on the show sometime. You were great.
I would love to be on the show.
This was so much fun, man. This was a ton of fun. I loved all of it. I love your insight. Your analogies are the best. I can't wait to go get my daughter some crystals. But yeah, you're the queen of analogies. That was amazing. I love all those, and I really I love that. I love the idea of the new book, the journal, to write things down if they don't serve you, and kind of get rid of them and move on. You know what I mean? I love that. That's fantastic.
And have a ritual, burn it. Pull the pages out, burn them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You thought, yeah, that's really cool. Clever.
Get rid of it. Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. Folks, Marla Goldberg. I got her name right at the back end, folks. Give it up for Marla Goldberg, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Everybody say goodbye to Marla. Oh, also real quick, just so you know, all of the links to your website and everything I'll put in the description of the video on YouTube. So anyone that views the video moving forward can get all your information right in the bio below. So they can click to, if they have questions for you, they can go to all your websites and keep in touch with you through social media. Cool?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
It was such a pleasure. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
I hope that they're filled with magic, miracles, light, and love.
Thank you so much.
And great health.
Thank you very much. You too. Be safe out there on the East Coast.
Everybody out there the same. Stay well.
Thank you. You stay well. Folks, that's Marla Goldberg. Look at that. That was a great show. I think it was an hour and 12 minutes. We covered a lot. We talked about relationships. Yeah, that was really cool, man. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for the questions. Keith, I apologize. I gave you crap for your question. It was actually a pretty good question. Folks, I mentioned earlier, if you want to support the show financially, you can go to one of those places right there, and you can donate to the show. You can throw it as little as $1. Feel free to pay. If you enjoyed the show and you want to pay $1, go ahead. There's a $10,000 button on my website. If you want to hit that one, feel free. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. If you can't afford anything, that's cool. Just like the video. Enjoy the video. Follow me. Subscribe to the channel. All that stuff goes a long way. Also, if you enjoy this and any of the other content that I provide, you can join the Patreon page. There's a lot of people on here that follow us on Patreon. And for that, you get all the content I've ever produced online for free. You get it all, the Schmidts Show, which is me doing stand-up. You get this show, Reconnecting Comedy. Not only do you get to watch that show on YouTube, which a lot of people are going to be able to do, but you can also be involved in those shows. I have a lot of people from the Patreon page that will be in the upcoming show on December 26th. We have writer sessions. The more money you pay for on the Patreon page, it's a monthly service. The more you pay per month, the more you get. So little as $1, you'll get updates from me. You'll stay in touch with us and see what's going on with all the shows. And if you pay much more, you get the writer session. You get all my albums for free. You get a backlog of all the content I've ever put up online for free. All the Schmidts shows, all that stuff, all of it is for free if you pay for the monthly. I guess it's not for free, if you're paying monthly, the Patreon page. But that's the service. If you join the Patreon page on a monthly basis, little as $1, you can join that. Besides that, you guys were great. Thank you so much for being here. This was a great show. I had a lot of fun. I'll see you in three days. No show Wednesday. Thursday night, my good friend Todd Cole will be on. He's crazy. He's going to be a lot of fun. He's a musical. He does his own music videos. He's a big guy on Twitch. He's a gamer. It should be a lot of fun. And if you want to hear a drunk story about me, Todd will have probably 9 of them. So tune in Thursday. We'll listen to some of Todd's original music. I'm really looking forward to the show. He's a lot of fun. He's a very funny dude. The rest of you guys, thanks for being here. Take care of yourselves. As always, do me a favor. Dream of Pinky.
Lenny Schmidt Quarantine Comedy was created, produced, and is hosted by Lenny Schmidt. We live stream on YouTube at 6 p.m. Pacific every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Special episodes occasionally stream or are uploaded on Tuesday and Thursday. Every episode is also launched as a podcast and can be heard on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. If you enjoyed the show, please like the video. If you really like it, share the video. If you really, really like it, please subscribe to the Lenny Schmidt Comedy channel on YouTube. You'll get updates on this and numerous other online comedy content that my dad produces. Check the info section below for detailed information on all of our guests. If you are a fan, you can follow and support them as well. Go to their page, like their content, buy their albums, purchase a shirt, any merch they may be selling. Anything you do will support performers, will literally help save the arts. In fact, if you want to support this show financially, just go to lennyschmidt.com/ifyoucan or Venmo at Lenny Schmidt Comedy. If you donate as little as $1 or as much as $10,000, it will help pay for the stuff my dad keeps breaking. If you can't pay for the comedy content, that's okay. COVID sucks for all of us. Enjoy the free show. If you want to find a way to support what we do, just subscribe to Lenny Schmidt Comedy channel on YouTube. That really helps a lot. Thank you for listening to my dad's show, and as always, dream of Pinky.